Once upon a time, in a kingdom that shimmered like glass beneath the moonlight, there lived a prince named Arion. He was the youngest of 3 brothers, and though brave and kind, he was often forgotten by the court. His elder brothers were handsome and strong, admired by all, while Arion preferred to spend his days in the castle gardens, listening to the birds sing and reading old tales beneath the shade of silver-leaved trees. Now, the most wonderful thing in the royal gardens was a nightingale that came each evening to perch on the tallest branch of the willow tree beside the lake. Its song was so pure and beautiful that even the stars seemed to draw nearer to listen. The nightingale's feathers shone like moonlight, but among them was one that glimmered brighter than all the rest, a single silver feather, said to have been a gift from the Queen of the Stars herself. One night, as Arion sat beside the lake listening to the nightingale's song, a cold wind swept through the garden. The wind carried with it a whisper, low and strange. "When the silver feather falls, the heart of the kingdom shall fall with it." Arion looked up just in time to see the nightingale's silver feather drift gently through the air and land at his feet. He reached down to pick it up, but as soon as he touched it, the wind turned icy and the nightingale vanished into the dark sky. The next morning, the palace was in sorrow. The king had fallen into a deep, mysterious sleep that no healer could break. The queen wept, and the royal advisors were in great distress. Remembering the whisper in the wind, Arion realized the two must be connected. He went to his mother, bowed low, and said, "Mother, I must find the nightingale. I believe her song is the only thing that can wake father." Though she feared for him, the queen gave her blessing and a small golden lantern that would never go out, no matter how dark the night became. So Arion set out into the wide world. He traveled through forests where the trees whispered secrets, across deserts where the sand sang in the wind, and up mountains so high the clouds brushed against his cheeks. Along the way, he met many strange beings. The first was an old fox, caught in a hunter's snare. Arion freed it, and the fox said gratefully, "If ever you lose your way, light your lantern and call my name. I will guide you." The second was a lonely giantess, who sat weeping by a dry riverbed. Arion asked her why she cried, and she told him her tears had once filled the river, but her heart had turned to stone from loneliness. Arion took out his silver feather and brushed it against her cheek, and to her astonishment, her heart softened and the river began to flow again. "If ever you need strength," she said, "call upon me and I will lend it." Finally, he came to the Cavern of Echoes, where it was said the nightingale had been trapped by the Wind Witch, a spirit jealous of all beautiful sounds. Arion entered the cavern with his golden lantern and the silver feather. The witch appeared in a swirl of icy air, her eyes like storms. "Why do you seek the bird?" she hissed. "Because her song can save my father," Arion replied. The witch laughed, cold and cruel. "Then you must give me something in return. Something dearer than gold or jewels." Arion thought of his family, of his sleeping father, and finally said, "Take my voice if you must, but free the nightingale." The witch smiled and waved her hand. The moment she did, the nightingale burst from her cage, filling the cavern with brilliant light and song. The witch shrieked and vanished like mist in sunlight, but Arion could no longer speak. The nightingale flew to him, landed on his shoulder, and touched his lips with her beak. A single note of song escaped her, and where it touched him, his voice returned, soft but strong. "You gave freely, not for reward, but for love," said the nightingale. "The kingdom shall wake again." Together they returned to the palace. The moment the nightingale began to sing, the king opened his eyes, and the kingdom rejoiced. Arion became known throughout the land, not for his crown, but for his kindness and courage. The silver feather was placed in the royal hall, a reminder that sometimes the smallest acts of goodness can break the strongest spells. And as for the nightingale, she still sang in the garden each evening, her song more beautiful than ever, while Prince Arion sat beneath the willow tree, smiling softly, listening to the song that had once saved a kingdom, and they all lived happily ever after.